It's just adding to the Rolodex of songs that are in my mind. Now, when I'm riding home and I'm like, do, 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 do. Live everywhere, you guys, and because we are live, we want to make sure that's what it's about.
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
Sit.
She said her.
All right, it looks like I'm
We ready?
Here. She ready.
We ready. We ready.
Facebook over here. Let's see. 1 2 1 2.
All right, now I'm covered.
Right.
Last time I touched it, and that was the issue.
Yep, that's what I'm changing right now. Changing the, yeah, that was when she touched it.
That was the issue, y'all. This is live. Live be live, honey.
I'm going to share it to our wonderful group. And you know what? My Instagram updated too.
It did?
Yeah, so I'm wondering if I'll be able to like watch future episodes on that channel here. You should be able to. I think so, because it updated by itself. So
you should be able to, for sure.
Like, I didn't like manually do it. I was like, oh shit, my Instagram's updated. Wait, can I go?
You can say whatever you want. This is live.
Okay, cool. So, you guys, thank you again for tuning in. Remember, if you are tuning in, please make sure you drop comments. That's how we are able to see you, or we are able to respond. We will interact with you as we see comments. Put your comment at the bottom. You are still on the countdown. We both were still on the countdown, but I had to come out for a second.
Oh my! Wait a minute! Wait a minute! We actually live, and I'm counting down. Like, what is going on?
I don't know why mine came out the countdown, but it did. Probably because I had to come out.
Hey y'all!
Always this one.
Like what?
Always this one. Just know. Just know. Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all, as we do this, she gonna get better, y'all. She gonna get better.
Because I said when she's talking to people.
So
wait a minute.
We actually are going to, we always try to represent our Philly artists. So we are going to play a song by Ajane called Hey. Okay, so we are going to put that up on the screen. And yes.
Thank you, Ajane, for reaching out. Thank you, Ajane, girl. I'm tell you one thing, Ajane. I love your hustle. I love your drive. I love that you said, I'm right here for y'all. Make it happen. I'm going to make it happen. So thank you, Ajane. We appreciate you. And I love your songs.
Yeah, and this is your song.
Let y'all hear Ajane. Let me show y'all Ajane, okay? So that y'all can see her, follow her. That's Ajane, y'all.
Truth or dare, do you want to play or keep on staring? Don't be scared, won't bite your head. Let me know if you have time to spare. Could you show me how you want it to be? I see it as a look for me. I keep it my baby for free. Because still you for a small fee. Would you mind it? Don't wanna rush into it. Just like something that music.
I know. All right, I don't know. I think so. Here we go.
Ajane, let me go to the. I think Ajane is gonna have to be a guest.
She will be a guest. She actually agreed to be a guest. So she will be a guest. Yes. Sorry, y'all. I think there's a little issue with the information on her YouTube, but you can find her on YouTube. We'll drop her information there at the bottom. But this song that we're listening to was actually official live performance. It was a performance that she did. So it could have been something wrong with their issues. But her song is awesome.
I think she's dope. I really do. She might be like this.
Don't stop, this is more than reason. Oh, we don't know where the party started. All we know is it's getting
Really? Yes.
I wanna see you again. Oh, don't be shy. Know you're down for the ride. I won't put up a fight. Why don't we make this right? You can come over, we'll fuck up the covers. Be all you wanna, please. Are you down to the chase? Oh, I know you're waiting for something special. I just
She put the glasses on it.
Period. Ain't got real cute glasses. Boy, now.
I gotta see y'all.
Come on, Ajane girl. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Y'all better go follow Ajane, y'all. Follow her YouTube page.
Yes, for sure.
Y'all see it on the screen. Make sure y'all follow it.
Yeah. And we'll put it in the bottom. We'll put it in the comments. We always put it in the comments before we leave. So we'll make sure we drop it in the comments. Don't forget, y'all, if y'all are watching, make sure y'all like, share, and follow. We are live on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Make sure you're sharing out this. You are live with Soul Talk T and Key with special guest Sheba Speaks Volumes.
Yes.
Yay.
Let's go. I am super excited.
Yes.
I felt like this was the longest week.
Come on.
I felt like a little kid waiting for Santa Claus.
Yes.
So excited.
That is funny.
I just want to get
What's
here.
up? What's up? So how about I say what's up to all of the people, right? So what's up, Facebookers? Y'all know I call y'all bookers. What's up, Grammars? What's up, Grammars? What's up, YouTubers? What's up, streamers?
Yeah.
What's up, y'all? How about that?
Y'all.
Right?
Hey,
Yeah.
What's up, Sheba?
Hey, hey.
Hey, girl. Hey. Hey, girl. Hey. Y'all already know this is our girl.
Yes. So we got our girl, Sheba Speaks Volumes. I know you
It's
guys.
me touching these screens.
She going to touch the screen. We going to get it to where she ain't got to touch these screens no more.
But I ain't
so,
messing up.
So let me give y'all a little secret. Every time we do this, we going to get a little better because we are live, right? But see, where I got a little bit more tech issue today was, y'all see that little bottom? I don't know if y'all can see it, but on my end, it say remote. So that's why you don't see me pressing the screen today because I got remote from a distance. I got a remote.
She said, I ain't playing with them today.
So next time, I'm going to have to hook my girl up with a remote.
That's all right. I'm getting here. It's coming. Just know it's live. It's live for a reason. Y'all get all of this goodness, okay?
I love that picture. I'm glad I sent her that one.
That picture is everything.
That's one of my favorites.
So can we just start off? So y'all know who we are, right? I'm Kiana. Y'all know this crazy.
We got to introduce ourselves, of course, in case they don't. And I'm Tish.
And
I am Sheba Speaks Volumes.
All right. So what does that name mean? Like, Sheba Speaks Volumes. Like, let's go into it. Tell us about you.
So this is actually the first time that I've introduced like what my name actually meant because my real name is completely different from my poetic name. So when I first was called Queen of Sheba, I was with someone who pretty much opened the door to my awakening and showed me a mirror of who I was. And in part of that, every person in his life that was important to him, he always found somebody in a story, like a historical story, because this is supposed to be like a fictional story.
Mhm.
Queen of Sheba was allegedly fictional. So, but the funny thing is, she spoke about in the Bible and she's spoken about in the Quran. But when he met me, the way that I was in relationship with him and the way that he revered me, the way that he could see me, he saw my power before I even knew it existed. Yes. So the way that he could see me, immediately he was like, oh, you Queen of Sheba. Instantly. Okay. So Queen of Sheba was a person, queen. She ruled a nation by herself with majority of women. So she was a very powerful, very rich, luxurious woman. She had the finest herbs and the finest spices. And the first time, and that's what I wanted to tell y'all too. Like when I first started, I didn't have my name. I already knew that I was Sheba, I was Sheba. And that's how I was introduced when I first started performing. But later on, after my first performance and being a feature, my best friend made me a feature at one of her shows. She was like, what's your name? And it really, I can't say any other way. It came from the spirit. It came from the divine, because when you put it together, what speaks means, you know what I'm saying? And to know who Queen of Sheba was and to know what volumes are. Volumes are not just books. Volume is the way that you project your voice. Exactly. And when I was on that mic, my voice projected. Yes. So like you, my voice projects. So that is the volumes, and anything. She was someone who always brought gifts to people. So that's what I said. I said, my voice, I'm going to speak and use the volume and the gift of my voice to heal. So
yes, I love that. I know that so
much. Yes. Thank you, girl.
Thank you.
Yes. Love it. I'm so grateful to have you here today.
Yes, we are.
We are
so excited.
Girl, honey.
Yes. So we have, hey, we got somebody saying, hey, y'all. Hey, Shanae. Hey. I put her comment up on the screen because she was the first one I seen. So, hey, girl. We are excited to have you.
I'm excited to be here. So, y'all my girls.
If y'all don't know, we sitting here with our girl. She is a poet, okay?
Oh.
And y'all are
and she speaks volumes.
Listen, the poetry speaks volumes, okay? So we are sitting here with her today, and it is a pleasure to have her here. Y'all just don't know. Y'all don't understand, but it is like a pleasure. So, and we, oh my goodness, I don't even know. Because I honestly, I just met her, but she's such an awesome soul.
She's such a light.
And it's just because, so we've been rocking and rolling for a couple months, since August or so. But let me tell you something. When you meet good people, you know good people. You know good people. So that's how she ended up in this seat today as our first guest. It was very deserving.
You was the first guest. Yes. You guys. Absolutely.
We didn't think that existed.
To have you be her?
Yes.
Absolutely. And it's an honor to be you, for real.
For sure. It's an honor. And when I tell the story about how we met, I started tearing up when I was talking to my love, and he was like, it's okay. You're open. I understand, and I'm with you. And I said, but you just don't know what they did for me. I said, you met me in a space where I was going through a spiritual transition. I knew I was. Of course, if you're familiar with it, it feels like depression. It feels like you're not going to be able to claw your way out of it, even though you know you are, because it's not the first time you've been through it. But I knew that it was so much that I was releasing and having to get comfortable and embracing something that was really in alignment for me, because I was out of alignment for so many years. So it's like coming into alignment and then being aligned with such beautiful people, because that event was not the first time we had met. And then I was able to meet you, and y'all spoke so much life and love into me.
Because that's what we do.
I am so. It is.
That's why we sitting on this couch.
I love that.
We really sitting on this couch because in the end result, we actually spoke so much love into each other. Like,
right.
I mean, people don't understand, but me and Kiana have known each other for a really long time. And we have crossed paths in every business that we've had, and every year, and when it's a brand new century, we keep crossing paths. And at some point, everything happens for a reason. So the universe was bringing us together, and then we kind of just teamed up and was speaking life into each other. And then we go out here in the community and give it back to others. So that's why we're sitting here, because we wanted to pour not just into each other, but to everybody. Yes.
And that's how I feel. I'm like, who I am. I knew I couldn't sit on what I had to say anymore. I just couldn't.
I know that's right.
It was like this, that nagging feeling in the pit of your stomach. Like, this is not just for me. I have
everybody.
Yes, this is for everybody. Even if not for everybody, it's in alignment for the person that it's for. Yes, it's for the people that it's for. Yeah. And I remember when I first was performing, and then my best friends, they packed up and they moved. And just going through everything that I was going through in my life over the past few years, I was just like, it's time for me to get back out there, because I never stopped writing. Once I started writing, that was it. And I just kept writing and writing and writing. And before I knew it, I had enough to write a book. So I said, what is happening for me now? Like, what's the next steps? How can I be of a blessing to somebody else? Because everything that I learned and everything that I became, it wasn't just for me to sit on it and keep it to myself. That would be so selfish, and I'm not that person. So in paying attention to spirit and listening to spirit and following the divine order, I had to get out of my own way. I had to get out of my own way. So that was the biggest thing for me, hitting the mic again.
And I think that's important, because a lot of times people don't realize that stepping out of your own way gives the person who's looking at you, who you don't even know, that's watching you. Right? But it gives them that courage to then say, you know what, if she can do it, I can do it. Let me step out of my comfort zone. And that's Let me step out of my way.
That's true. That's so true.
To be able to do it. Because if she could do it, I could do it. It gives people that. Like, it really do. It's power in numbers.
Yes, it is. And you know something? That's one of the reasons why I really wanted to get out of my own way. Because I'm like, I have a story to tell. And at one point in my life, I felt like I wasn't going to be sitting here. I wasn't going to be standing where I was standing to be on the mics that I'm on. I wasn't going to be able to meet the people that I'm meeting. I had to learn how to get out of my own way, and I didn't even know how to do that. But Spirit sent somebody to help me and show me and all the information that I absorb. I'm an inquisitive learner anyway, so I'm constantly asking questions, constantly digging for more information. And in the process of discovering who I was in isolation, I realized, I said, you know what? At one point, I didn't have this information, and I wish that I did. So now that I do, I need somebody else to know that they can speak to.
Well, let's get into that. So, we got some questions for you.
Get into the questions.
All right, so
can y'all get into, first of all, hold up. Can y'all get into the cards? Like, can you really get into the cards? And I see a comment. Hey, Takesha. Hey, Michelle. Can y'all hear me?
Hey,
am I clear? Am I okay?
Michelle.
For the people that's still watching, can y'all hear me? Because it says that you can barely hear. So I want to make sure that I'm clear. I want to make sure that you can hear us. Right? But I need y'all to get into these cards.
All right, so
look at our cue cards, y'all. Like, it's getting light. They are so amazing, courtesy of my girl, my good girl Tish.
When I wake up early, I do stuff.
She do stuff. She do stuff when she wake up early, and she gave us these cue cards. So last time, we just gonna keep getting better and better.
Last time we was reading off our phones and our tablets, and this time I thought we needed to get a little bit creative.
I love it.
Right here.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Can the people on my live hear me? If you can hear me, please let me know.
I was like, yes. Can everybody hear pretty good?
Sound quality, y'all?
Please give us like a thumbs up. Y'all can hear us.
Thumbs up, heart,
so we can see. We got Kim watching from Instagram on my side. We got Michelle that is here. She said, hey ladies, and she is tuning in all the way from South Carolina.
Hey.
We got
it was a hey in unison for me.
Yeah, so Michelle said she can hear.
All right, Michelle said she can hear.
Give it up to Quill. Quill is watching and she said that she can hear on
Awesome,
her end as
awesome,
well.
awesome. So they said that they can hear. They
Yes.
can hear.
Yeah, so everybody
Copy
can hear.
that.
Copy. So let's get into this,
All
right, y'all?
right.
Y'all know how this go. We here to talk about mental health and self-love in ways that you've never known before, but this time it is based around poetry today.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yes, so we got our girl here, Sheba Speaks. So we gonna get into the questions, right?
Yes.
All right. So you ready, girl?
I'm ready.
All right.
All right.
So here we go. So the first question that we had for you today was, how has poetry helped you in your journey towards self-love?
Oh my goodness. Real quick. Back in 2020, you know, when COVID first hit and all the things, I had met my spiritual healer. And she said to me, she said, you're operating at the emotional capacity of a 15 or 16-year-old.
Oh, did she?
Yes,
she
did.
I love that.
I was 35.
Wow.
I was 35 years old. And that shattered any idea, any perception that I had of myself. So what she said to me was, I need you to start journaling. And I need you to do it 3 times a day. And she said, you can start off. She said, if you can't do it 3 times a day, I need you to do it either morning and night. But you have to do it at least 2 times a day. So that's what I started doing. I started journaling morning and night. And it took a minute because it didn't happen right away. But every time I would have a meeting with her and she asked me, that's one of the first things she would ask me. She's like, are you writing? And I said, well, I'm doing it in the morning. Sometimes I'm doing it at night. I was very inconsistent with it. And she reiterated to me. She said, let me tell you something. She said, your freedom is in your writing. Your healing is in your writing. She said, and you may not see it now, but I need you to keep going. So that's what I started doing. I started journaling.
Yes.
I started journaling, and then I became consistent with it. And before I knew it, I had wrote a poem.
Wow.
And then before I knew it, I wrote another poem.
Okay.
And it was almost like I was allowing my emotions to hit the page. That was the healing part for me. And I didn't realize how healing it was until I learned to be consistent. And then it was almost like I just threw up all my emotions on a page. And the more that I wrote and the more that I threw these emotions up, I got them out of my system. I felt lighter and lighter and lighter. So writing in my poetry helped me clear up what needed to be clear up so that I could see my purpose better.
Can I say something?
I know that's
right.
right.
You mentioned something that you said to me regarding gratitude journaling, right? Are you comfortable with talking about that, number one?
Absolutely.
Okay, and number two, can you just tell them what the message that you sent to me not too long ago about gratitude and what it has done for you? Gratitude journaling specifically.
Yes, because it was Toast to You Tuesday, and I told you what I started doing. So every now and then I write out what I'm grateful for anyway, especially when I feel like I reach a roadblock where I'm not sure what I should do next. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I don't understand why I feel the way that I feel if it's not the best feeling. But what I realized I had to do was I had to make a concerted, consistent effort in changing my subconscious. So with that being said, I started saying 3 things that I'm grateful for every morning, 3 things that I'm grateful for every night. Now, is there always 3 things? Absolutely not. I usually wind up saying like 5 or 6.
Yes,
Because I'm in my head, especially if I'm in the shower. It's such a spiritual time with me. That is when I'm connecting with God the most. So I'm in the shower and I'm saying affirmations and I'm saying what I am grateful for. And in doing so, it has improved my momentum and it has improved my health. It has improved my mindset and my life tremendously. So when I watched your last episode and you said that writing what you're grateful for every day, I'm telling you, it really, really does work. It really works.
It does.
Because when your subconscious is the same way for such a long time, a lot of the times you got to do some heavy work when it comes to that.
That's so true.
And changing your subconscious is not as easy as 1, 2, 3.
It's not.
You have to really dig in and do the work that is necessary. That it just needs to be done. It does. It needs to be done.
Exactly. You have to change the program.
You do. You have to change the program.
Absolutely.
It is.
Yes.
Especially when you know you're getting on your own nerves.
That part.
When you getting on your own nerves and you can't understand why you keep functioning the way that you're functioning because it is embedded in your subconscious.
What they say when you're gonna get sick and tired of being sick and tired?
Yes.
When are gonna be done being sick and tired?
Yes.
Like it's gotta be you.
It gotta be you.
You have to make the change.
Yes.
And I love that you use journaling as a form of you making that change for you. But I also love that you were aware of
that part,
your feelings, your emotions, but someone had to tell you, but you didn't shut down.
Right.
You said, okay, I'm going to take this and I'm going to do what she said. And look how it changed your life, honestly.
And it was a roller coaster because some moments I did shut down. Because, in the process of healing isn't linear. So she can tell me this and I can take it. But some days I didn't know what to talk about. I'm like, I don't have nothing to say right now. But in that, it was learning. Like, just like you all are learning how to get even better where you want to be at with this podcast. It was a process of me learning how to get to where I'm at now. Now, the first thing I'm doing, I'm writing this shit down.
Come on, man.
Yes.
When you get up, when you wake up, come on, baby.
I know
I
that's
love it.
Anything that
love it.
happens, I'm like, I need my journal. I need to write this down. And a few years ago, it was a time where I didn't want to do that. I'm like, I don't know what to say. I don't want to feel like I gotta force the words out. Yeah. And it really is. It's a journey.
Love that.
All right. Awesome. So, was there a specific poem or writing moment that helped you see yourself in a new, more loving way?
Oh, definitely. For a long time, I was pouring my trauma into my poetry. So a lot of my earlier poems, they hurt. You know what I mean? I don't perform them as much, but when it comes to the one that I titled Shadow Word, and if you want, I can perform that today.
Absolutely.
Okay,
I would love that.
Yes.
Y'all would love that, right?
If y'all watching,
some comments, some fire. If y'all want to hear her poetry,
make sure you
live
share
today.
But she gonna do something live today. Y'all heard it, right?
She said it, not us.
Yes, I'm gonna do something live today. But that was the one. It was a very pivotal moment, and I wrote it in a form in which it was the version of myself I wanted to be, speaking to the version of myself that I was then. And now when I read it, it's the version of me today.
Love that.
So it'll never get old to me.
That's going to tie into a later question, but that is awesome.
That's great. I love that. I love that. Make sure, like Tish said, make sure y'all subscribing to the YouTube channels, following us on our social media platforms, following Miss Sheba Speaks on her social media platform because y'all gonna have to pull up on her, right? Y'all have to pull up. Y'all have to support because when she speaks, like she said, she speaks volumes, okay?
That's right.
I've been in the building. I've been in the room. I've got chills from hearing this girl when she opens her mouth,
That's
right?
true.
So y'all need to be in the building. Y'all need to be following and pulling up in all of the shenanigans.
Wherever she at.
All of the things, okay?
So let's see. We had a viewer say, Michelle, sometimes writing can be hard for some people because we don't want to see consistent reminders of what we're going through. It once you get past that point. Got you.
And you know what? You don't even have to read over it. And if you do read over it, like everything, different things work for different people. So I wouldn't necessarily say this is for everybody. But I can speak from my personal experience. Writing did something for me, and I don't read over every journal entry. Some stuff I read over and immediately I have to stop. Like, I don't, but you never know what you need to reread. Because even when I said, I used to pray and I would beg God for good friends.
Yeah, I know that's right.
I used to beg God for women that could be around me, that loved me, that could see me, that could appreciate who I was and not try to dim my light or make me feel bad for being as bright and as bold and as fierce as I am.
Listen.
Because when I show up, y'all see me. I show up. I can't even help it.
I know. But you know, that's so funny because it's like a song I listen to and some people may know that verse, but it was like, I asked God to remove my enemies and then God started removing my friends.
Yes.
And
that's a
what
powerful
happened.
song.
Like,
I like that
yeah,
song.
Yes.
like I love
like that
it.
song.
You know.
So I constantly do a check-in with self where, God, if this person is not for me, then I need you to remove them from my life.
I know that's
and
right.
I'm not, and I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
One of the speakers from earlier, she said you have to get comfortable in pivoting.
Yes.
And a lot of times that looks like no longer being friends with people that you thought you would have forever, because you don't even realize that energy that they carry with them, that's the energy that's holding up your
Absolutely.
blessings.
Yep.
That's the energy that's
And
holding up what you need to do in your life.
That's very true. One of my mentors told me, this was the words, you need to separate from that person so that you can elevate. Without the separation, you will have no elevation. Period, point blank.
And that's
it.
That's true.
You need to
That's
separate
true.
from that person, that particular person, if you want to
go
go where
to
it
the
is that
next
you
level.
told me that you want to go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
they
that
anger.
person's energy and that person's anger and the toxicness
Yep.
that comes along,
Yep.
it's going to go over to your energy.
Exactly.
And you pouring into people
Mm-hmm.
ain't going to be pretty if you pouring into what that toxicness is.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
Exactly.
If that makes sense,
It makes
y'all.
sense.
So
And a lot of times you don't even realize it, and I'm glad she told you that, because sometimes you don't even realize it, because what they're not outwardly saying, they're wishing for it in private.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
They're wishing for it in private, and they're hoping that you don't catch on.
Oh yeah,
And that was a lot of what my old friendships were. You know, they served their purpose for what they did, but they were in alignment with the person that I no longer am. So they were in alignment with somebody who didn't know who she was. Now that I know who I am, I want to be around people who know who I am, see who I am, honor who I am, and love on me in the same process.
I know that.
And a lot of people don't do that, and people like y'all deserve that.
And
And y'all deserve each other.
It was a moment that y'all caught. Y'all feel that moment. I love
What did
that.
I say to you?
She
before
said
we started?
soulmates are not always like loving relationship where it's a romantic relationship. What she said. And she said, I think you found your soulmate. And I said, I told Tish that. I told
She
Tish.
always say every day.
I say
She like, you
Tish
stuck with me.
every single day, like, oh my gosh, I've been looking for you for my
entire
entire life. I tell her
And the
that
crazy part
all the
again
time.
is we have been around each other our entire life. That's the crazy
But not
part.
on this capacity.
Not on this capacity.
Not on this type of time. And it's like, when you're a giver, y'all, like let's just be 100. If you're a giver, right, and you're constantly being surrounded by takers,
Yes.
when you meet another giver and be in contact with another giver and you guys begin to give to each other, and it's just like not a one-side relationship.
Yes.
It is such a refreshing
really
thing. And this
It
is why I say to all of my friends that I feel like are givers and are in that type of capacity, I gotta give them their flowers every day.
Yeah, I know.
I had to tell them how I love them. I had to tell them that I'm appreciative for them.
Yes.
Because who's gonna do it?
That's right.
Who's gonna tell Tish, you are dope, you are amazing, you are awesome, right? Me. If ain't nobody else doing it, it's me.
She do.
And who's gonna tell Sheila, girl? Like, who's gonna do that? Like, girl, you are everything. Like, I wanna be like, it could be a stranger walking down the street. We just went to a women's event, right? So many women in there, so many gentlemen in there.
Yes.
I stopped one young lady and I said, girl, your outfit is everything. It's giving me all the life. But the fact that people are not used to that.
They
are not used to that. They're not, like, she didn't even know how to respond to me.
No, but
because
it's right in
like,
her day, and you could tell because we don't give those compliments to each other like we should. We too busy looking at each other with the face, and we don't do we should do more. And so that self-love that's within, that's what we give. Like that's what we on this couch doing. We giving it back to y'all.
Absolutely.
We want all of y'all. This couch ain't just for poets and musicians. This couch is for everybody. You want to be on the show, it's for everybody. So let's acknowledge some of our people that we do have, because we got a lot of people watching right now, y'all.
Yes.
So we got Julianne who said perform that.
He ready.
Okay?
Julianne ready. She said tell her to perform it now.
Okay.
That's my
Let's go. Oh, yes.
We got Kendall Honesty on Instagram that says, what talking about is definitely a learned behavior, continuing being a success for my sisters and helping the community.
Yes.
I'm thinking journaling helps you figure out your triggers. Hurt people hurt people.
Absolutely.
And what we are saying is powerful. We got Coffee When You Want It watching. We got Kiki watching. And Kendall Odyssey said true sisterhood. Coffee When You Want It says, I'm old school. I've been leaving lifting up ladies. I know that's right.
Yes. Come on, y'all.
I know that's right. That's what
Love
Instagram. So our Facebook friends are saying, yo, ladies, let's throw some of these on the screen. Sorry, I can't throw the Instagrams up, y'all. But yo, that's Champ said, yo, ladies.
Hey, Champ.
Let's see. It's the consistency that's hard understood.
Right.
Yes.
Right. It is.
Let's see. Chim said, "Hey, Letitia and the Queens, y'all looking amazing.
Thank you.
That's how you know what the vibe
Right.
is there.
I wanted to say to the young lady, one thing I've been working on is changing my perspective, the way that I think about certain things and the way that I approach different things.
Yeah, I read that comment. I said,
if you keep thinking something is difficult, if you keep thinking something is hard, it will be.
It will be. Absolutely.
And that's you being hard on yourself. So the kinder you are to yourself, take your time. Mm-hmm. It's not something that you're going to get overnight. It took me years. I've been healing myself for 10 years. I met my spiritual healer 5 years ago. So it takes time for you to be consistent. I still struggle with consistency. But what I do is, what I don't struggle with is starting again. I'm going to start again.
I know that's right.
I'm going to start over as many times as you want, as long as you don't quit.
As long as you don't quit.
As long as you don't quit.
Yes. What I tell you last show, what was that, last Sunday when I said, I am like the Miami beach trees. I'm the palm tree. I'm going to bend over a little bit. You know y'all see.
You ain't going to break.
It be like this. It be halfway to the ground. But I'm going to pop right back up.
Baby, and I ain't call myself resilient for no reason now.
I know that's
my brain is called resilient for a reason, because we gotta learn to bounce back regardless of what life throws at us. Because one thing life going to do is throw us stuff. Right? It's going to throw it. You just gotta be able to
don't give
keep
up.
going.
Don't give up.
And give yourself grace.
Yes.
It's okay.
Please
give yourself grace. It is okay.
Yes,
it definitely is.
I know for a fact they care about you enough, and I'm telling you now, I care about you more than enough to not let you be hard on yourself.
Yes.
So while you feel like right now it's hard, think of it this way. Think of it like I get another opportunity to start over.
Yeah.
And you start as many times as you need to.
Mm-hmm.
That part.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a shout out. We just met this lady today. Wonderful woman. Y'all, Tennille is on here. Now, okay, so she's on Instagram under Hair Counselor Salon, okay? And she said, her comment is, hey, ladies, nice meeting y'all today.
Yeah.
It was nice to meet you.
Yeah, it was nice to meet you too. But you know what? It's crazy because we just met her today and she on here, she's tuning in.
Yes.
And that's what we be talking about. When you really in the people, when you really for people,
yes,
people will be for you and they can see it.
Yes.
So the fact that we just met her today and that she is on here and also agreed to be a guest on the show, we just met her today. I really do. So let's say a little bit about her. Look her up, y'all. She's on Instagram, Hair Counselor Salon. So apparently she was a counselor, but then now she is a hairstylist. But her salon is basically like the name of going to the therapist salon.
Why you get your hair done?
Why you get your hair done?
Concept.
Like I would let her explain the concept for y'all better when she's on here. But not only that, like literally go to her page, check her out. But the fact that she's showing us love, like we love that.
Love you, girl. Love everything you talked about today, and your mission is amazing.
She was.
It's absolutely amazing.
Everybody on that panel was amazing.
Yeah, so if y'all don't know, we just came from a women's event, a women's conference that was put on by the PPIA, which is an absolutely amazing group of people. Here we go. Absolutely a great group of people, right? So it was Miss Patty Jackson, it was Tennille, it was people from the PNC Bank, it was state representatives. I mean, it was a wealth of amazing people, and they were dropping gems.
And black women,
black owned businesses, and let's not forget they were men that was doing their thing in the building too.
Definitely.
Okay, so it's black men and women, and they were pouring into us like ain't nobody's business, y'all. So that's what we're speaking of when we say where we just came from, where we met Miss Tennille. She happened to be one of the panelist speakers at that amazing event. So I am definitely going back next year.
For sure.
We're going to definitely collab with Miss Tennille for sure. So I got another question for you, girlfriend.
Okay. Where we at?
Yes, ma'am. So my question is, what themes of self-love? Because y'all know I'm going to talk about self-love. So if y'all get that now, y'all got it. So what themes of self-love do you find yourself returning to when you write your poetry?
So one of the things that has carried me to continue to write is the idea that I'm making my inner child happy, that I'm making my inner child proud of me. Me being who I am, and I talk about this in my poetry sometimes as well. Growing up, I was always a baller, like always. And when you grow up in the years that we grew up, you know, it wasn't always welcomed. Sometimes you were too much for people. So now in the process of reparenting my inner child, that is who I am thinking of when I'm getting into my writing. This is who I'm thinking of. Like, I'm making my inner child happy. I'm making my inner child proud. I'm my inner teenager, because she's rebellious as hell. So even my inner teenager. And not only that, I'm making my lineage proud. I'm making my ancestors proud of me. I am doing something that possibly somebody didn't feel like would have been welcomed or appreciated or accepted before I came home.
I'm gonna step out for a second.
It's okay, but you don't even have to put it back up. It's okay. But in that process, that's what I'm always thinking. Sometimes I'm usually going through something in a moment, and that's where I get the best work from. So a poem that makes me cry when I read it back is because the words came from a higher power to help me be able to articulate what it was that I was feeling in that moment. But most often than not, it's me making my inner child happy.
And I love that you say that. I love that you take it back to your inner child. Because not even just your inner child, but your inner teenager as well. The fact that you're following where maybe the trauma might have come from. Where maybe the different attitudes might have come from. Just you being you, where that has come from, and why you do the things you do, why you say the things you say. Not a lot of people realize that all of that stuff, again, I keep saying the word program. I say that on purpose. It's very intentional that I'm using that word. All of these things are very much programmed. So for you to go and reparent, I love the words that you're using, to reparent your inner child or reparent the teenage you is now changing the paradigms. It is now reprogramming the program. Right. So I absolutely love that. I love the verbiage. Number one. I love the verbiage that you use because it tells me, number one, you're intelligent. Number one. And then it tells me that you really think about what you're saying. And you really are aware of the words that you're using. Because words are powerful, and not a lot of people know that either. Words are powerful, and they are spells, and spells are spells, right? Spelling is spells, right? So for you to be aware of that and be very mindful, and then say the things that you say, I am just very, very gracious, and I love that.
That I have to be more intentional. It was too often that I was just out here floating. You know, like I wasn't self-aware, but that's a habit that I had to pick up. You know what I mean? And a lot of me picking up the habit of self-awareness was me releasing unhealthy habits. But it was the courage. Anybody that's healing, first of all, you need to know that it's a very courageous act. You know it's not a lot of people that are doing it. One, because they probably don't know how to start. They don't know what to embrace, what to attack first. You know what I mean? And I happen to be honored enough to have somebody in my life that wasn't afraid of me.
Exactly.
Because I was a menace.
Right.
For real. Like, I was a piece of work. Right. You know, and I was one of those women, you can't tell me nothing.
Yeah, okay. I know, right?
But for them to be courageous enough to tell me about myself, it made me even more courageous to tell other people about themselves too, because I'm still telling me about me.
Yeah,
you know, like, okay, girl, I just do it a little softer now. I do it a lot softer than I used
normally.
To. Yeah,
right. You ain't biting.
Right. You know how when you first started, it was like, girl, why you doing this? Why you doing that? Now it's like, okay, girl, come on now.
Yeah. You know, you giving yourself grace.
Right. Exactly.
Right. Because you gotta allow yourself to be able to grow.
Yes.
And all of the time, tough love ain't needed for every situation.
Right.
That is just that.
Exactly.
Tough love is not always needed. Sometimes you gotta give yourself the grace that you would give the 5-year-old you.
Yeah, exactly.
Because tough love might scare that 5-year-old you, and now you shut down.
Or others. Because I feel like we give more grace to others than we do ourselves.
Yeah. Right.
Like all the time. I see it all the time. So, yeah, for sure. So, we got another shout out on here, but this is coming from More Life with Mo. Now, this girl, she's a YouTuber as well, so shout out to her. Make sure you follow her, More Life with Mo. She said, hey, hope y'all doing well.
Hey, Mo.
We are doing awesome. Thank you for tuning in.
And I love your name.
Yes.
I wish you more life out.
I know,
more life
right?
to you, girlfriend.
Yeah, she is awesome.
Yes.
I love that. We just had a really great day.
This was a good day, right?
It
started off amazing. You are absolutely amazing. I love that you are very open and honest with the questions that we're asking. You're going into, you're giving real life answers, right? And you're actually talking to the people. So I absolutely love that.
Go ahead. Anytime.
So
she says,
what question now? Just like, let me hit her with something.
Oh,
I had to go.
It's like, what you want do I want to give her now?
I want to ask you, how can poetry help reframe your relationship with past pain and trauma?
Oh, that's a great one. I feel like the first word that comes to mind is gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
So I've noticed that even when I write something that's not the easiest to write or the easiest to even feel, I still keep that gratitude in the back of my mind that I still get to write this. One, I'm grateful for mobility. You don't realize how much you take for granted just being able to write. Like picking up something, a pen, and pulling paper in front of you and being able to write it out and being in your right mind. So I'm thinking of, I'm grateful I'm in my right mind.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So the biggest thing behind what I write, despite what emotion it elicits from people, is the gratitude that is reaching the right heart and the right ears.
Exactly.
And that it came up out of me so that I could make space for something else.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Love that.
I love that. Yeah.
So now, I mean, the people want to hear you. They said she is speaking volumes.
So let her speak, right?
So let her speak.
Are y'all ready to hear some volumes? Let's see.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Let's see what else. More Life with Mo said, I know I'm late, laugh out loud, but thank you so much for playing my song.
Hey, girl. Baby, yes. I love your song. I love your right? I love the fact that you got to it. Period.
Yes.
Period. You got to it, and your song is amazing.
Beautiful
you
song.
Are beautiful.
You are beautiful.
You are.
She has really good stage presence too.
Absolutely.
Yes, but let me just tell you how this girl was hungry. I had to ask how old she is because sometimes that matter. But I like the fact that she is a young girl out here and trying to do her thing. And I managed Philly artists before. So when I'm real passionate about always putting Philly artists on any platform that I'm on, like all the time, and other artists, but we got a lot of talent out here. But let me tell you her hunger. So I posted up something that asked if anybody wanted to get their music played, their own music played. So just hit us up. Number one, she was the only one. But not only did she hit me up, she hit me up, Kiana up, she hit our business pages up, she hit everybody up. She said, I don't know if y'all one person, two people, or four
I'm
people,
hit all y'all
but
up.
I'm hitting all y'all up. So I love that. So yeah,
definitely got on, and your music is dope.
It is,
and we can't wait till you become a guest.
Yes.
Can't wait till you come. So yeah, is she based in Philly?
Yeah,
she's based in Philly.
I believe she is based in Philly. Are you based in Philly?
Let us know, inbox us. Let us know if you based in Philly. Yeah, because we got a lot of stuff going on. We need you to come outside, girl.
I told her that. I said we got a lot going on. So yeah, for sure. All right, but back to you.
Yes. We both turned around like, all right,
we gotta take a break. We gotta take. You see how in tune we are? We gotta take a break. We was letting her get her poem thoughts together, y'all. We knew what we was doing.
Back to her.
Back to Shebaspeaksvolumes.
It's her turn now, y'all.
All right. Okay. One of my favorite pieces is shadow work. I don't think you've heard me say it before. So
this is a first. Exclusive.
Yes, this would be first. Okay, so
Soul Talk on Soul Sunday.
Y'all better know it.
This is called Shadow Work, and this was a piece that the person that I wanted to become had wrote this in conversation style to the person that I was at the moment.
Okay.
So
she's based in Philly.
Peace to you, Empress. If I could have a moment of your time, I've noticed that in all your independence, you've lost touch with the very essence of your being. You've lost your divine femininity. Wait, let me reword that, because see, I can feel your energy, and I come with love, and I am not your enemy. And everything I'm about to say to you was said to me. And taking accountability is your means to freedom. You are out of alignment with the jewel that is your womb. And when I see you, I see every bit of me. Recently, I've been struggling with vulnerability. Because see, who would I be to show you to me, or me to you? Anybody else that I've ever let in has all but trampled over my femininity. So I've adapted to resting so comfortably all up in this toxic masculinity. Because see, I dare a motherfucker to come around these parts and try to hurt me again. The stories I could share, I could really go, and you sure you want to be my friend?
Ooh!
This mouth of mine has been a metaphorical machete chopping heads off necks every time somebody step with some whack-ass energy. I've been ready. I've allowed my traumas to swing first and ask questions last, clinging so desperately to this misguided ideology that my natural femininity was weak. And yeah, I love to wear pink, but my heart bled army fatigue Timbs and Dickies. Miseducated on what it meant to freely be me. Now the divine is showing me that toxicity is not necessarily what I needed to survive, and it's damn sure not what I need to thrive. So I can understand you, but do you comprehend me? Sis, there is beauty in resting divinely in that gift of femininity. I operated on anger, baby. Do you hear me? Now my speech feels like a hug, and my energy like an early morning butt rub. It ain't shit weak about being me. Now I'm in the process of showing me, I'm reteaching me how to love correctly, completely, healthily, steadily, and easily, all while sitting on the throne of vulnerability. I'm going to rock it, sashay all up in it, owning it. And when I do, every ounce, every drip, you're going to feel it.
Yes! We done. I gotta go.
Did y'all catch that? Did y'all?
Yes, and yes.
If you on here, I know y'all need
better
to be dropping
subscribe.
some comments.
Go to her page and make sure y'all follow her, because she's gonna be live at somebody's event, giving y'all all of that. Okay. What's your next one? Tell them where to find the girl.
My YouTube is I Write to Heal. 2, not the word 2, but the letter 2. And then my Instagram is _Shebaspeaksvolumes_.
Love it.
So, and my TikTok is Shebaspeaksvolumes as well. So, no underscore. But that's where you can find me.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Tennille is giving you fire.
Woo!
She is giving you fire. So, Julia, let's see. The detection.
Yes. Come on.
Y'all see it. It was the power.
It was powerful, baby.
The power.
It was everything. And I was sitting right next to her. I was doing this on purpose, y'all, because I had chills.
Listen.
I was trying to show y'all, like, I felt the energy. I felt the power. That was great. I absolutely love that.
Thank you so
that
much.
Was great.
Thank you. Gratitude.
Absolutely.
You know we gotta pull it up and see what the fans.
I'm making that a reel. Just know that reel's gonna come out soon. Just know we're about to chop that up real quick. Make that a good old reel.
That part.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow, that was amazing.
That really was. So I would say the last. I don't know. You got more questions? Because I got one last.
You got one heavy hitter. I think you got a heavy hitter.
So because I know we talked about your younger self.
Yes.
Right.
Hit me, girl.
This question is: if your younger self read your poetry today, what do you think that they would say?
Oh, they would say, "I am so proud of you." Toy toy. Toy toy, like my mom says, toy toy. But they would be extremely proud of me. And one thing I believe they would say is thank you. Thank you for not giving up using your voice in a way that you needed to use it. Because as I highlighted in that piece, I didn't always use it for positivity. I didn't always use it for healing. And I realize now, I just had this conversation. I said, I'm not going to continue to change who I am. I'm going to change who I talk to.
Yes.
And I realized that not everybody can really embrace me the way I want to be embraced or the way I need to be embraced. I know my love language. I know so much about myself, y'all. Like when I say I studied myself to the T.
That's important.
Know thyself.
Yes.
It's
important.
Say that.
Why I operated the way that I operated. And that's one thing is that, and thank you for seeing me. That's what she would say to me. Thank you for seeing me. Because that's one thing I do for her now. I have to see her. I check in with her. Hey, baby girl, how you feeling today? And at first, it may sound crazy, but no. And it's like when she wants to play, I let her play. When she wants to watch cartoons, I let her watch cartoons. Yes, when she wants to put on fuzzy socks and cute little cartoon socks with a bowl of cereal, I let her do that. Right. When she wants to color, I let her color. When she wants to go to the playground and swing on the swing and slide down the slide, I let her do that.
Same.
I do. I let her do that. Yeah. And I've been writing since I was a teenager. So even before that, from what my mom says.
Okay.
So even for my inner teenager, she would say the same thing. Thank you for getting back to who we were before the world got its hands on us.
Before the world started worlding.
Yeah.
I love
wow. Yeah.
I do have one more question. One last question because it's your takeaway for the people.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So this question is, what do you hope people take away from your poetry about self, not just yours, but in general, self-worth and confidence?
That you can build it. It's not the end of the world if you don't have it. I started somewhere. I didn't start where I'm at right now. And that's one of the things that it really makes me cringe when people say that to me. Oh, I wish I was more like you. You don't know. You don't want to be like me. You want to be like you, but you want to learn how to do that. You want to learn how to be like you. And I went through, I studied my human design. I studied my birth astrology chart. I studied everything about myself that I need to study about myself. And I'm still doing so that I can learn what I need in this lifetime, how I need to be spoken to, how I need to be loved, how I need to show up for myself. So when it comes down to self-worth and acknowledging what makes you special, that's what you have to do to yourself, for yourself. You have to study yourself. You have to get to learn yourself. And then another thing that I learned is you have to stop taking yourself away from people. You need to be around people so that you can learn how people are, what they're triggering inside of you. You know what I'm saying? Like some days we get so wrapped up in, I just want to be alone and people are scary. You need to be around people. You do.
To be able to learn.
You do. It's being around people.
You need to know what's your triggers and things.
Exactly.
You need that. In order to be a better you need to know what triggers you, that you need that.
You can't stop dating forever. You can't just say you don't want no more friends. One of my favorite quotes is from Viola Davis, and she said, "You have yet to meet all the people that are going to love you." When I heard that, that kept me going. I listen. I put myself out. I put myself out there. I put myself around people. I need to move and shake amongst people and really learn how to sell myself and just really get to sell my, like open up my soul and show you, give you a window to who I am, because I need to know if we're in alignment, because now I'm in a space where, I'm no longer closing myself off to opportunities, because if I did, I would not have met these two.
Come on.
I would not have met you if I didn't allow myself to be open to the opportunity that somebody else could love me outside of the people that was already around me. So that's the one thing that I have to say to anybody. Allow yourself to be open when you have the mental and emotional capacity to do so. Because sometimes we do have to go into solitude, but you need different forms of things, of healing. Again, healing is not linear. Sometimes you need solitude, but sometimes you need community.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
Yes.
And I know for me, that community was a lot of the healing that I needed. I needed the community.
You need to be in the community.
All the time.
All the time.
All the time. She just needs
you
to be
talk
outside.
About walking sunshine?
All the time.
You need to be in the community.
All the time.
Girl. My friend Tanya, right? Shout out Tanya. I love you, girl. Tanya calls me a positivity bully.
Yeah.
That's what she calls me.
Yeah, she sure does.
She calls me the positivity bully. She's like, "Stop it! You're being a bully today." I'm like, "What?" She's like, "You're a positivity bully," and I just cut it out. But that's like, I love people in real life. Like, I really do, and I want to see them grow, and I want to see them shine, and I want to see them elevate. Like, I really want the best for people. That's really characteristic of mine that sometimes people say to me, "Oh, you doing too much, or you too kind, or you too nice, or you giving too much." But it's like, if I change me, then I will no longer be me.
Right.
Yeah. I just have to change or recognize who to give my gift to.
Right.
Who to pour my energy into.
Yes.
Right. I just had to recognize that.
Who wants
Not
it?
to change myself, because I'm going to continue to
Be
the loving, passionate, fire energy person that I am.
Yes.
But I do recognize that it's too much for some people. I do. So those people, I can't give all my life to.
Right.
But I recognize
they just don't know how to embrace you. They don't have the capacity for you. One day I had somebody tell me that I was needy. And this was somebody that was supposed to be my friend. And then I actually went to my best friend and I said, "Am I needy? You think I'm needy?" And she was like, "Are you needy? Or did they just not have what you needed? Could they not? Were they unable to meet your needs?" So that's really what it is. I don't think it's ever that you're too much. They're not enough.
No, she's never too much. But again,
they're just not enough.
Some people, they look at others and they may look at her and say, "Oh, yeah, I can't be that." So for them, she's too much because they can't be that. They want to be that. But they don't work there. A lot of people are not working on self.
Right.
So you could be that. You could be Kiana. You could be bubbly.
And I'll be right, like, come on.
Yeah, like you can be that. But at the same time, everybody don't have that. Yeah. But sometimes it takes for you, like you said, get outside. Sometimes it takes you to be around that. To be that.
Right.
If you're continuously, like, let's be real, if you continuously around toxic,
right,
then you gonna be toxic.
Right. Absolutely.
Be around the bubbly. Be around the bully. She's the positivity bully. She's the positively bubbly bully. Be around the positively bubbly bullies. You know what I mean? And you will become the positively bubbly bully too. You know? And I gotta say, because it is a rub off, because like you say, even with the same girl Tanya was about to do her website, and what did I say? I put in my calendar, Bug Tanya Day website to be
all
done.
day.
And I put in my calendar, and when the day came, I put her a big a Facebook. This is Bug Tanya Day, and she probably was like, "Well, dang, she really is bugging me." But that's because, again, you start to feel like you are giving back to people and you care about them. Like, we're not trying to bully you or bug you because we don't care. We do it because we care. Absolutely. We care about what you want to be and who you want to become. And we are much more than what we are right now.
Right.
We don't understand that we are much more than what we are right now.
Yeah.
So when you start to really sit back and think about that, that's why we place ourselves in the rooms that we do.
Absolutely.
Lately, we've been everywhere, but we put ourselves in these positions because we want to be more than what we are.
Yes.
You know, and some people, like you said, look at us now and be like, "Oh, too much." Well, get used to that because we're gonna be more.
Prepare to be sick of us.
I guess I'm just too much.
We
Just
just
like, no, I'm not too much just for you, but not for somebody that needed me.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Not for somebody that
and
needs
that's what
me.
it's about.
Exactly.
It's always going to be the Berenstein Bears or the three bears of that, right?
Absolutely.
Not enough.
Because
Too
you
much.
never. Because when I met you, I needed you. The day that I met you, I needed you. The day that I met you, I needed you. And I am grateful that you were who you were supposed to be in that day.
Thank you.
I really am. To feed life and love into me the way that you did. And I will forever pay it forward. And I will forever reciprocate it back to you because you just deserve it. Even when I brought my niece to the vision board party, she was like, "They are so sweet." I said, "I know, bro." Oh my God. But if I didn't do the work, and that's really what it is. People are not doing the work that they need to do to be able to appreciate who you are.
Yes.
Even if they're not the same way as you, even if they're not bubbly and outgoing and ready to speak and do all these things, and even if they're not that, if I was laid back, which I am, it's a part of me that is, I can still sit back like, Kiana's so crazy. I love her. You know, like Kiana is so, look at her. She is so bubbly. I was at the vision board party. I said, this girl know how to work a room. I'm telling you, she knows how to work a room.
And she does.
And I love that for you. So even in all my multifacetedness, I will still appreciate who you are. When people are doing the work that they need to do for themselves, they will be able to appreciate you no matter how they are, no matter how they show up, because they're already doing the work. Exactly. They won't have an issue with you being who you are. You won't ever be too much. You won't ever be too much.
I appreciate y'all, and I love on y'all, and that's why I think it's important to have a community.
Yes,
that's why I love the community, y'all.
Michelle said, "I need y'all. Real rap. Please adopt me, ladies."
Michelle, this is for you.
Be giving you
Come on.
sending you love, Michelle. You're not alone, baby.
Never. Okay.
You have not yet met
never.
Love you.
Come on, say it again. She ain't hear you.
You have not yet met all the people that are going to love you.
That part.
Yeah. That's why you got to be you when you show up, Michelle.
Don't I say that?
Yes.
You have to show
unapologetically
and authentically.
Yes.
Always.
Authentic and unapologetic. Be you.
Show
up and show out.
Yes.
On purpose.
On purpose.
On purpose, y'all.
And show up in transparency. Show up in transparency.
I heard someone tell me one time. It wasn't even one time. She actually made this her tagline. Transparency is freedom.
It is.
It's what she said.
It is.
Transparency is freedom because it allowed her to get it out.
Yes.
It allowed her to lift that burden off of herself. But not only that, it allowed others to be able to see, oh, wait a minute, I'm going through that too. Maybe I should take these steps.
Exactly.
Or maybe I should reach out to her.
That's so funny because it tied back to what you saying when you were saying, like, sometimes you would write and you didn't read it. And then what you said, because when I wrote my book, Pieces of Me to Serenity, I didn't read my book after I wrote it. I couldn't tell you how my book plays together because I never read it. And this was 2023. So I'm now just reading my own book because I didn't need to read it. I lived it.
Right.
So I didn't need to go back and relive it. But you're right. When people started reading it, they're like, wait, this is what I'm going through.
Yeah.
I see me in this.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, you went through this.
Yep.
And it's so relatable, but it was one of those things was I just needed the right to get it out.
Yes.
And then I said, it's out, but people need this.
Yes.
So I decided to give it to the people. I knew it was a lot of personal things in there, but I decided to give it to others because I knew that they needed to hear my story. Because I was, like you said, transparency. Like I was just being me. Yeah. So it is one of the things where, look, if you can't read what you write, just write.
Just right.
Yep,
just
write until you're able to read it.
I want to speak to that too, right? Because sometimes you're not able to just write. I get that. So just doodle. Just put your pen
little stuff
on the paper and best believe your pen will start moving.
By itself.
Your mind will start minding. Like y'all don't even realize.
That's a practice. You know that, right?
Y'all don't even realize, right? But literally, if you just get you a piece of paper, blank piece of paper, and just sit there with the pen in your hand, I can guarantee that something is going to be on that paper, and it might not even be words.
Right.
Right? It might be squiggly lines, it might be straight lines, it might be circles, it might be squares, it might be a sun, it might be whatever it is that is on your heart and in your spirit to put out there on that paper.
Exactly.
Everything is not always what you perceive it to be, right? Like, just because you want to write something doesn't mean you have the right words.
That part.
It doesn't mean you have the right words. So
that part.
I say that because there's a portion in my gratitude journal, right? And I did that on purpose because I recognize that you don't always have the right words to say, or you don't always want to know. You don't always know the right words to say. They're not always there.
Mm-hmm.
So in my journal, you can write or you can draw. It's up to you.
Yeah.
But I don't never want to put somebody or ever want somebody to feel like they're in a box to do the one thing, or to do the thing that they're known of doing, or to do the thing that their industry is known of doing. You always have to do what's best for you.
Right.
And if what's best for you is not what's best for the average person, it's okay. Because it's not meant for them. Exactly. It was meant for you to do it the way that you needed to do it.
Right. Yep.
It's meant for that. Because the way that you needed to do it is for you, but for real, it's for the masses.
Right.
A lot of times we get gifts, but gifts are meant to be opened on purpose. The gift that you get is not meant for you to keep for yourself.
Right.
The gift that you get is meant for you to open it,
open
so that you can see what it is and play with it and figure it out.
Yep.
But then it's meant for you to give that gift back.
Give it back.
To the masses.
Absolutely.
Because that's who really need it. That's what it's really for.
That's exactly.
You figure it out. You've probably manifested it into your life, right? But you manifested it into your life so that you can figure out how to utilize this gift to then give to other people so that they can figure out how to utilize their gift.
Right.
It's a trickle down effect.
It is.
So I need you to be comfortable with opening up your gift.
Yes.
And playing with it.
To
figure out how to use it.
Yeah.
To use it. Because we all got one.
I happened to discover that writing was a gift. But there are other things that are gifts too. You know what I'm saying? Everything, and you never know. You could color and realize that maybe your gift is painting. Your gift can be anything you choose to do in with intention of healing you and loving on yourself. You could paint, you make pottery, make candles,
anything,
make body butter, anything you choose to do that's healing for you, that could be your gift.
Yeah.
It just so happens that writing is one of mine.
And sometimes if you don't know what your gift is, start paying attention to what people are saying to you or about you.
They tell you. People tell you.
People can tell you.
People told me that my gift was energy all my life.
Yeah, people tell you.
I love your energy. I love your energy. Your energy. Guess what? That is my gift. Yeah. My gift is I give out my love, and that ain't nothing but energy. Yeah. All day, every day. Yeah. I just gotta learn to put it back to me.
And people always told me I was an inspiration. Like in anything I went through, they know that I've had some hard times, and they know, like, oh, dang, she went through this, but she got back up. So every time I always hear it, even Michelle put on here, like she said, but you don't even know how your book inspired other people. And I did, honestly, it was strangers that came out of nowhere. Strangers brought my book and told me how much I inspired them. So I've been getting that, like you said, your entire life. People say you're inspiring. It's like sometimes you don't even see it.
You don't hear it until you hear it.
Until you hear it. And it's like, what? But yeah, like people will tell you what your gift is. If you don't know, people will tell you.
But sometimes you're not even open enough to hear it.
No,
that part. You
again,
have to be open enough to hear it too.
Working on
I was just going to say that too. Sometimes, like, I remember the person that gave me my name. I remember he used to say, I'm like, how is it that? Because I was in a space where I knew I wanted to change something. I didn't know how to start. I didn't know where to start. I didn't know what my problem was. I didn't know what I struggled with. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then he was able to show me parts of myself that I really needed to see. And one of the things he used to always say is, when a student is ready, the teacher will appear.
Yep. That's the one.
That's so true.
And so many people are teachers. It could either be it's going to be what they teach you, the lesson and how they treat you, or it could be something that they help you learn out of the love that they have for you and the intention in wanting you to have that message. So even if you don't feel it for yourself, you put yourself around somebody that's never going to let you forget. Especially on the days that you feel like I don't really feel like this. I don't feel like myself. Yeah. I don't know who I am right now. Yeah. You always you have somebody that's never going to let you forget.
Oh yeah, and she definitely don't. And she definitely don't. And I'm a real girlfriend. She don't. And I'm real. I think like a couple days ago, I was having like a really bad anxiety attack. And I was going through some stuff because I be busy and I be tired. And then my body get tired and I get drained and people don't get it. But I really was going through the motion, and I think I texted her that. And I was like, when you get in, can you just call me so we could go through some breathing exercise? 2.5 seconds. And I was like, not when you soon as you get in. I said, no, what I told her was when you get settled. Yeah. I knew she was on her way home. But I was like, when you get settled. And she was like, settled? I still got my coat on. I said, girl, I wanted you to get settled. No, ma'am, because I don't play that. You know I don't play that. So I know for sure, like, and you need people like that in your life. You do. You need people
definitely.
Like that.
I have people like that in my life. I have y'all in my life. The overflow and the love and the admiration and the honor and the respect and just all of those things that I didn't notice how much I needed it until I started learning how to give it to myself. And then I also learned too, because just last year I took a workshop on healing the mother wound. And even now, you know, our relation, I realized that there are just some things I'm just not going to get from my mom. And it's okay, because what I learned in that was you need to learn who to get certain things from. I know what to get from her, but I know what I can't get from her because she just doesn't have it. And it's okay. And that's what helped me stop being so angry, you know, at her and harboring resentment. And that's what helps you. You have to know who to place in your life to get what from them. And it's not, and a lot of people will look at it like, oh, you're using them. That's not using you. I am utilizing you in the capacity in which I know you're able to show up.
That's right. But that, like you said, I think someone said this in the comments. I don't remember who said that, but that is also a learned lesson.
Yes, it is.
You have to learn that because when you're the type of person that you are, right, you might think that everybody can teach you something. You might think that you can learn from everybody, and you might think that everybody is in your life for a specific purpose.
Right, I do.
Right? So it's like, that's a learned lesson for you to say, you know what, I had to learn that everybody is in my life for a reason and a season. I had to learn that because otherwise, just like the lady said, I would have held on to them too long.
Yes.
Exactly. I would have held on to them too long, and it would cost me at the end.
Yes. Learn when to let people go.
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 People, places, and things. Not just people, places, and things. Learn when to let them go.
Because I'm telling you,
everything got an expiration date.
It does.
Yes.
And I'm telling you,
everything has an expiration date.
You know what? And one of our this is before we moved over to Sister Sense. Shout out to Sister Sense, right?
Yes.
Shout out to her. She's on 14th and Girard. She has a candle business.
Yes.
Where she does candle. She does a whole lot of stuff, y'all.
She does.
So make sure y'all follow her too.
Very beautiful shop.
Prior to us going over there, and we were doing the Zumba classes, twerk classes, twerk before we did twerk and Zumba. And Charlene said, when we were doing the affirmations and the gratitude, she said, I had to learn that divorce is not just for romantic relationships.
Right.
She said, I had to learn that I had to divorce some people in my life.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought that was a powerful statement. Yeah. That's what we're speaking of now, which is why I wanted to bring it up. But you've got to learn how to divorce some people in your life, and it's not always going to be your husband or your wife that you have to divorce.
It's going to be a friend that could have been your friend for 10 years. You got to learn to stay. Sometimes longer than that. Childhood friend grew up from the ground up.
It could
sometimes
be
it could
anybody.
Be family too.
Anybody.
Because sometimes you might, I'm going to just say that. Sometimes you might have to divorce your mama or your daddy. Or your grandmama. Or your uncle or your auntie. I'm just saying.
Anybody.
And that is a very courageous act of self-love.
Listen.
A very courageous act.
It is.
You never lied.
To say, you know what? I don't deserve this. The way that you love, I don't like the way that you try to love me. And it's like, and a lot of times people think that they are loving you. They're loving you. They don't even know. They don't even know. They're loving you the way that they want to love you, but they're not loving you the way you need to be loved.
Yeah.
And when you realize that and you have to make peace with that, I even made a TikTok about that. It is something about us not having that conversation enough when you have to grieve relationships of people that are still alive.
That part.
That
Because
is
you don't just grieve the people that passed, you grieve the people that still
That
here.
is
Yes,
very
you
true.
do.
That is
The
very true.
fact that they
And
still
you
here.
can still miss people that you know you don't want in your life anymore.
That is
part.
I'm going through that right
You
That
now.
part.
and I
I'm just
believe
saying,
it.
I'm
I
going through
believe
that
it.
right now.
I believe it. It never changes. And this is how I've lost so many people. I've gotten comfortable with the pivot. When they said that earlier, that really hit me. Because I said that is my word for the year.
Listen.
Pivot, huh?
Pivot, yes.
Listen.
I had to learn how to pivot away from people, pivot out of situations, pivot out of jobs.
Yes.
Because ultimately, back to what you said, if you don't learn how to walk away on your own, when I tell you God is going to force you out,
It's
God
going
is
to
force you
happen.
out.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
You ain't never lied about that.
Allow it to happen willingly, and
Or you get
willfully
forced out.
go, or you get
forced
forced out.
And
you
baby, when you
messier
get
than
forced
what
out,
you did.
oh baby.
Now why you gotta go
Yup.
kicking and screaming?
Yup.
Exactly.
Because I tried to give you the easy way out and you ain't
I-
take it, so now you
listen,
want the hard road.
I
It's
know
that
that's
tough
right.
road.
Exactly.
So I was telling Kiana on Thanksgiving, I divorced like 5 people.
She
I
did.
said I
And
did not
did.
celebrate it. I did not eat no food. I sat in my bed and I watched TV and I had a great time by myself. But in the process of me having a great time by myself, I went through my contacts and had a block party and said,
had a block party.
and who can I divorce today?
Yes.
This is what I'm grateful for. I am grateful for the fact that I can divorce people because I've grown so much in the inside that unfortunately these people are no longer useful to me.
And they just can't go because they're not loving you the way you know.
And that's really what it is. When you constantly give and give and give and give and give and give and give, you just want somebody to give a little bit back.
Come on now.
Just
Talk
a little
about
bit.
it.
Just a little bit.
Talk about it
Just a little bit.
But that's okay because what we learn to do is give to ourselves.
That's it.
So I am enough.
And that's why it don't matter no more to me.
I am enough for me, so that if you try to come into my life and not give enough, not only will I tell you you have to exit. Now I would be like, baby, I got enough of that. So I need more from you. And if you can't give me more, it's okay.
It's okay.
I recognize that. But if you are not for me,
I stopped allowing people all full access to me.
Mm.
Like I was forced to stop letting people have a complete full access to me.
Mm-hmm.
If I know you can't love me the way that I'm loving you, because what I had to do was, and then you have to show God in the universe too. Like, I don't know what people believe in, but understand when I say, for you to get what you pray for, you have to show them that you're ready for it. And when I said,
don't ask for nothing you ain't ready for.
Don't
It's
ask
gonna
for
come.
nothing
Don't ask for nothing you ain't ready for.
Say it twice, sis. Because I'm in a space where I said reciprocal relationships only. That's it, whether romantic or platonic, reciprocal only. And then I had to learn how to set boundaries. And I'm still learning how to set boundaries. And I don't think you ever I don't think you ever get out of that space of learning how to set them. Because they're going to look different for different people.
Yes.
But what I did realize was I don't want people around me who think I'm needy.
Ooh.
I don't want people around me who think I do too much, or I'm too loud, or I'm too this, or too that, or too this. Yeah. If you feel like I'm too anything, then you don't need to be around me.
How about this too?
Exactly. You don't need to be around me. And you want to know something too? I had to learn how to limit access to people because not everybody needs to get, you don't have to get rid of everybody.
Of course.
But in the same token, I don't have to keep you that close either.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like all past access, like all backstage past access.
The VIP has been revoked.
Your
VIP pass has been revoked.
Everybody doesn't have that mindset or doesn't have the good agenda when coming to you.
And I'll start off that way, and then slowly by surely I'll pull it back. You start losing. Losing things when it comes to that, and then next thing you know, now you get me once in a blue, and then you wondering why.
That was basically what I did. I limited access and limited access until I feel like I tell people all the time, I don't block you. You block you. Let me look in the camera when I say that.
Block.
I don't block you. You block you. Let me look over here in this one.
She said, let me get all the cameras.
Block you.
All the cameras.
You
all the
block
things.
you. Because I give you ample enough time to
get
fix
it together.
what it is that you got to do to get this right with us.
Mm-hmm. So you cut yourself off.
If you can't get it right after you see me taking away access in a little bit, and a little bit, and a little bit, and then here I come, and you still like, then guess what? Blocked.
Yeah. You're blocked. Block party.
Block party. Let me tell y'all how I'm so literal, right? It's a problem. So I'm so literal. Like one time my friend put on Instagram, I'm having a block party, and I was so excited because I wanted to go to the block party so bad. Girl, she was really having a block party on her phone.
Like she was really blocking.
It was
people.
no.
I love me.
It was really no real block party that I can go give me a plate and a 10. It was not that.
Love me a block party down. I surely do. I tell people all the time. I even had one person, he was like, you block everybody. I don't block everybody. Some people is, I'm going to delete you. But some people, oh no, you're going to make it to this block party. And then you know what? You're going to live in this block party for the rest of your life.
And that's true. That's true.
You're going to enjoy
That's
so
right.
eternity. I don't unblock
I'm cracking up. Michelle need a girl's trip.
That's what she said.
I don't unblock nobody for nothing. It would take an act of God for you to be
I said my block is long.
She be like, in 2.5 seconds, she be like, oh, you need to block that one.
I
She
say
tell me all the time. She
I
like, they would be
say
blocked
all
if
the
it was
time.
me. If that was me, they would have been blocked
They would've
already.
been
I'll be
blocked.
cracking
I
up.
don't know why they
It's
not
me,
blocked.
y'all. That's what she said to me all the time. So now I feel like y'all gonna be here with me, like, why are they blocked? Why are they not blocked?
I'm gonna reach out to this artist, this amazing artist that I met right at this vending event I was doing. I'm not gonna shout her out just yet, but I'm gonna reach out to her, and she has a song called "Blocked."
Let's go. We need it,
on
girl.
the next show.
We need that one.
On the next show, I'm gonna try to see if we can get her song or even get her on this platform because she comes from a self of love too in her music. But she literally, crazy part is I blocked people on Thanksgiving and then I went and bended right after and literally
found
the
her
song
with the block
and
song.
found her with the block song. The universe talking to me, baby.
And you don't even realize what you could be holding up, keeping certain people around.
That part.
I was blocking my blessings for sure.
Just like you said, that made me think of it. Every time I let somebody go, I meet somebody else. If I didn't let go to people that didn't deserve me, I wouldn't have been able to make room for y'all.
Because there's not enough. You cannot. An object can't occupy where another object is.
Exactly.
So there is no space unless you create space. So you cannot physically put something. So if you're trying to gain new habits, you gotta let go of the old habits because you cannot put something where something else exists. That's just law.
Only but so much water can go in a cup before it overflow.
And there's not too many situations where you can put something where it's going to eventually push something else out.
Oh yeah, no.
So it's like I've even been in situations where I've had people lingering, and then I meet somebody else, and I'm like this person.
So you keep
So eventually, I'm going to stop being around this person as much.
Yep.
And then it's like I like the way they treat me.
Mm-hmm.
I like the way they talk to me. I like what we get to do when we're together.
Yeah.
And then you look at this person,
you
and it's
why
am I
Here's the thing. In that, do you recognize your own growth?
Because
that's what happened.
That's what happened.
You grew. And that is why you're looking at the person that way. Because guess what? There was a time when you liked the way that person did that. You liked the way that person talked. You liked the way that person did everything because you wouldn't have put yourself with that person.
Right.
So it's like, at that moment, give yourself grace because now you got to recognize, darn, I grew to be able to say, not you no more, now I'm for you.
Right.
But that's growth.
Yes.
And I just wanted to take that time to say, make sure you recognize that growth in that statement. In that statement, for sure.
So much. I am not even, I say all the time, I grow so much. I'm not even the person that I was last week.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not the person
sorry,
I
y'all.
was
The
say
mic
that
is
too.
micing.
Last
Sorry,
month.
that was,
Yes, for sure.
Because
I wake up every morning like, hey you.
Girl.
like, hey girl.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I
I
love
have
that.
to do that. I look
Love
in the mirror and I'm like, hey, beautiful.
Yeah.
How you doing today?
Yeah.
How you feeling?
Absolutely.
I'm checking in with myself.
Yeah.
And I have to realize too, like you are not that is how you learn to give yourself grace.
Yep.
When you
Right
can sit
there.
with yourself and recognize how far you've came along. So sometimes you do need to reread what
Yes.
you used to write, and it ties it all in together.
Mm-hmm.
Some stuff I used to write, I even posted one time on Facebook. I said I was crying over this man on my status. I don't even know who I was crying over. Child, I loved him more I thought I did. I don't even know who I was talking about. Like I don't even know who I was talking about when I wrote this. And you know, and I said rereading my journal entries is definitely, it feels like rereading Facebook memories.
I love that.
Because I see people that's not in my life anymore. And I can still sit back and say, damn, that was the time we had.
Yep.
That was nice.
Yes.
They did what they were supposed to
At
do
that
then.
For that time frame.
For
Yep.
that
Absolutely.
time frame. Yup.
But once I outgrew them, it was like, and then allow yourself to outgrow things. Allow yourself to outgrow things. I didn't even I would have never known that I would be who I am today to even have this conversation with y'all. And I had to remind myself.
And we told you, when I talked to you, I said you can do it. You can do it. Anybody can come sit on this couch if you believe in yourself.
Yes.
If you believe in yourself,
Yes.
this is what this platform is about. If you believe in yourself, if you're ready to believe in yourself, this is just step up.
Yes.
This is the place where you're gonna come and we gonna pull it out of you. And when you come up out of here, you're gonna be a new person.
Yes.
Because
we're just gonna love on you, and we're literally just having a conversation. It's just that you guys get to be a part of our conversation. But for real, it's just
because we talk like this without
exactly.
this.
So now we're allowing you to be a part of our conversation, right? But it really is that anybody that wants to come onto this platform, that's what it's going to be. It is very open, very welcoming. And it is just a conversation that we're going to have with you that you allow us to then share with the people.
That's right.
And the hope is that the people gain something from what you're saying.
Right.
And be able to grow or learn or build or even just give advice to the next person.
That's right.
Whatever it is that they gain from this is in hope to help somebody else.
Right.
That is really the hope of this. Because if there is somebody that's going through something that is mental health related, or if there is somebody that's going through something where they just don't feel their self-worth, they don't know to love on themselves, right? This is a platform where you can come, just listen to other people talk about it.
Yeah.
If you don't feel comfortable talking about it right now at this moment, it's not a problem. That's okay. But guess what? Your ears can be open.
Yeah.
And you can do that by yourself in your room with nobody but just you.
Just you. And if you know somebody who you know is in a bad space, if you know somebody, just like to share it out on your page. You know what I mean? Like, comment. It will get out there, especially with you sharing. People watch stuff that you don't even realize they watching. So if you share this, they will watch it, and then this will help them. Just don't know. You don't got to share it directly to them, but just sharing it on your page can possibly help them as well. Because a lot of people don't practice these tools. These are not things that you sit back and be like, let me just work on self today.
Right. It's hard.
Like, it really is hard. It is stepping stones, you know, and it's like being a baby. Yep. Like, you literally can't walk before you crawl, and you can't crawl forward before you go backwards. You can't. You know, it really is like being a baby when you're trying to take care of self, and a lot of people don't do it.
Yeah. I saw somebody say that too, what you just said, when she said, when you're healing, you have to look at yourself like you're a newborn. You have to treat yourself like you were a newborn.
Exactly.
How would you treat a baby? And that is what helped me be kind to myself and give myself grace. Because sometimes I got to remind myself, like, okay, girl, you being hard on yourself. But I've practiced this for so long that when I am being hard on myself, I can recognize it immediately. Like, that's not, that doesn't work for you. And you're making yourself feel worse. Treat yourself like a baby. Yep. And then I have to, sometimes I even go look at my baby picture to help me.
Love that.
You know, and I talk to my baby picture. It's just practice where I'm changing my subconscious, because your conscious mind can say one thing, but it's still lingering in your subconscious because it's a part of you that feels like you deserve the browbeating. And you don't. You don't deserve to be treated in a rough way. Not everything needs tough love. Not everything needs to be yelled at. Yeah, sometimes you gotta be so kind to yourself. It's almost like you have to, like I would do meditations where I would imagine myself picking me up as a baby and just rocking me back and forth, and it would bring on tears, and I'm crying and I'm releasing what needs to be released through my tears. So I hope that helps somebody.
I love that.
Well, you know, we could talk all day, but I know we gotta go, y'all.
Right. We gotta wrap it up.
Shout out to everybody who watched today. I know Mommy Dollars came on. Mommy Dollars, I believe, is on here now. Yes. If you don't know who Mommy Dollars is,
y'all need to know.
You need to know. She is the hood dollar store.
She the dollar store, period. We're not gonna say she the hood dollar store. We're gonna say she the dollar store, period. Okay.
She is no text, you guys. I mean, honestly, when she came into my life, I'd be like, I feel like I went a little broke. Mommy Dollar, you broke me. I feel like I went a little broke because I was like, I got an extra
every
dollar.
time. What I gotta get from over here. Every time.
We didn't walk out of the store without being like, we went home almost every day.
And I just gotta say, I love her because she too is not a gatekeeper.
No,
she also is a person that's going to pour into you. She's going to try to give you the knowledge, the resources, anything. Like, she is such a light also.
Yeah, and she give you your flowers. She give you your flowers while you still here.
And I appreciate you.
Yeah.
So I just had to say that for a minute.
We definitely appreciate you. Yes.
Sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
May came on, so I believe May is still on here.
Hi. One day I'm gonna get on Instagram. Today is not that day, but one day it will be.
I keep trying to hook up, y'all, but I ain't gonna lie. She already done touched her screen over here. I wasn't gonna tell nobody.
I did.
But she already done touched her screen.
It. But guess what? The live didn't go nowhere, but I didn't touch it again.
So we worked through we worked through that part today, y'all. So today she didn't have to click every 5 minutes, but she definitely did touch the screen.
I did.
And I don't call her out on her. And it's something that's on the screen.
Better and better and better and better.
And I ain't say nothing, y'all, but I looked at it like this girl. I looked over. I don't know if y'all see me.
I watched the first one. I'm freaking up. She was like, and I told her how to do it. And she
my goodness. If y'all know me, just know I always come with the shenanigans. I'm sorry. I don't know what it is. It's just, it be happening. And I don't know, y'all.
Okay. One of y'all is tech savvy.
It's that one.
And I love it.
It's that one right there. That's me.
Listen, it's okay. But no, thank you all for watching. Thank you to our special guest.
Yes, come on.
Shebaspeaksvolumes. Thank you so much.
Ladies.
Remember, like, share, comment,
subscribe.
Make sure that you guys, we will let you know when our next show is. We always, at this point, will have an amazing guest. If we don't, you'll get us. But
hold on. Are we taking it on the road for the next show?
You are. I saw you say that.
Well, we are. So our next show in March is back here. And then after that, we're taking it on the road. So the next show is here, and then we will be on the road and be more.
Wait, so can we say who the next guest will be?
We can. You can say who the next guest is.
So our next guest for next time will be. He is an amazing, amazing artist.
Yes.
Amazing. I went to go see him perform at the Rose Garden.
Yes.
Shout out to DJ Yazzie.
Yes.
Right. It was an absolutely amazing event. And his name is Cali, y'all. When I tell y'all he is such a dope lyricist, such a vibe, y'all. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited.
His performance was amazing.
Absolutely amazing.
So we are really excited to have him on the show. And I believe that would be March 9th, you guys.
Correct.
Oh, good.
I believe it's March 9th. I normally keep good dates in my head. However, we'll let you know in advance. Just stay tuned. We got a lot of things coming up. We're going to be having all kinds of things within the midst of until we get back to the next show. But we appreciate y'all. We hope you guys like everything that you've heard today, everything that we're doing. This is really what we stand for, what we are about. Again, we didn't just come up with this concept just to do it. We actually are this every day. I deal with mental health every day. She deals with self-love every day. Like, literally, my self-love book is in a bag, but I know her journal, she shouted it out a couple times on here. Make sure you get her gratitude journal. But at the end of the day, this is what we do. And make sure that you follow Sheba Speaks Volumes, you guys.
Yes.
Make sure you shout out and follow Ajane, we played her wonderful song, Hey Today. Make sure you subscribe to her.
More
check
Life
her
with
out.
Mo. That's her YouTube channel.
That's her YouTube channel, More Life with Mo. But her music channel was Ajane. So make sure you get with all of us. But thank y'all so much. We are going to cut out today.
Thank you.
And as always, we live. So I don't know how we end, but we just end.
We know. No, ma'am. We got a whole outro. Put your outro on. I don't know how we gonna end. We're just gonna end. Oh, yo, bye, y'all. Bye, y'all. That's how we do it. I'm crying. Outro.